In the heart of a dense forest, there existed a quaint village named Soulwood. This village was unlike any other. It thrived under the shadows of tall, ancient trees and was nourished by the crystal-clear waters of the Riven Spring. Soulwood was known for its vibrant festivals, tight-knit community, and a legend about a young woman who overcame insurmountable odds. This is the story of Elara, a tale passed down through generations, reminding everyone that true strength lies within. In Soulwood, life was peaceful and serene until a great darkness fell upon the village. The once clear skies turned grey, and a relentless storm ravaged the land, destroying crops and homes. The villagers were desperate and fearful, their hope dwindling with each passing day. Among them was a young girl named Elara, known for her kindness and unwavering spirit. Elara's family was among the hardest hit, their modest home reduced to ruins by the storm. Despite the chaos around her, Elara refused to succumb to despair. She rallied her friends and neighbors, organizing efforts to rebuild and find food. Her determination and leadership inspired many, but the challenges seemed endless. One night, as Elara sat by the remnants of her home, she overheard a conversation between the village elders. They spoke of a mystical artifact known as the Heartstone, hidden deep within the forbidden forest. It was said that the Heartstone possessed the power to restore balance and bring prosperity back to Soulwood. Elara's heart raced as she listened. She had always believed in the old stories, and now she felt a calling to seek out this powerful artifact. She knew the journey would be dangerous, but her resolve was stronger than her fear. Elara approached the village elders the next morning, her eyes filled with determination. "The Heartstone is our only hope," she declared. "I will go and find it. Our village cannot survive much longer without it." The elders looked at her with a mix of admiration and concern. Elara, one of them, said gently, "The forbidden forest is treacherous. Many have ventured in and never returned." "I understand the risks," Elara replied, "but I cannot stand by and watch our home fall into ruin. If there is even a chance that the Heartstone can save us, I must try." With the elders' reluctant blessing, Elara began preparing for her journey. She gathered supplies, said her goodbyes to her family, and set off towards the edge of the forest. As she walked, she could feel the eyes of the villagers upon her, their hopes resting on her young shoulders. The path ahead was uncertain, but Elara knew she had to be brave. The future of Soulwood depended on her. Determined to save her village, Elara decided to embark on a journey to find the Heartstone. She knew the forbidden forest was fraught with dangers, but her resolve was unshakable. Before leaving, she visited the village healer, an old woman named Mera, who gave her a small pouch of herbs and a talisman for protection. "Trust in your heart, Elara," Mera whispered. "The forest is full of trials, but you are stronger than you know." Elara looked into Mera's wise eyes and nodded. The healer's words gave her comfort and a sense of purpose. She placed the talisman around her neck and secured the pouch of herbs to her belt. "Thank you, Mera," she said softly. "I will return with the Heartstone." With Mera's words echoing in her mind, Elara set off into the unknown. The forest was dense and dark, with twisted trees and eerie silence. Every step felt like a test of courage. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and the distant calls of unseen creatures. Elara's heart pounded in her chest, but she pressed on, determined not to let fear take hold. As night fell, Elara made camp by a small stream. She gathered dry leaves and branches to start a fire, its warm glow providing a small comfort in the vast darkness. She ate a simple meal of dried fruits and nuts, then lay on the ground, staring up at the canopy of leaves. The stars were hidden behind thick clouds, adding to the sense of isolation. Elara thought of her family and friends back in Soulwood, drawing strength from the knowledge that they were counting on her. The first few days of her journey were uneventful, though the forest's atmosphere remained tense and foreboding. She encountered no wild beasts or treacherous terrain, but the feeling of being watched never left her. The trees seemed to whisper among themselves, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers. On the fourth day, Elara reached a clearing where an old, dilapidated cabin stood. Curious, she approached cautiously, her hand resting on the hilt of a small knife. The door creaked open with a touch, revealing a dusty interior filled with cobwebs and remnants of a bygone era. Among the debris, she found a faded map pinned to the wall. It depicted the forbidden forest with a path leading to the Heartstone's location, marked by an ancient symbol. Excitement surged through Elara. This map could be the key to finding the Heartstone. She carefully removed it from the wall and studied it by the light of the setting sun. The path was long and winding, passing through several ominous landmarks. Elara knew she had to be prepared for whatever lay ahead. With renewed determination, she set off again the next morning, following the map's guidance. The forest grew denser and more treacherous, but Elara's resolve never wavered. She was determined to bring back the Heartstone and restore Soulwood to its former glory. As Elara ventured deeper into the forbidden forest, she encountered various trials designed to test her spirit and resolve. The first trial was the Valley of Echoes, a place where haunting whispers amplified her deepest fears. Shadows danced around her, and voices of doubt filled her mind. Elara clutched Mara's talisman and focused on her goal, pushing through the fear. The Valley of Echoes was a place of haunting beauty and terrifying illusions. The air was filled with whispers, some soft and comforting, others harsh and accusatory. They echoed Elara's innermost thoughts and fears, amplifying every doubt she had ever felt. The shadows seemed to move with a life of their own, twisting and shifting in the corners of her vision. Elara forced herself to keep walking, her steps steady and deliberate. She repeated Mara's words in her mind like a mantra, "Trust in your heart. You are stronger than you know." The talisman around her neck grew warm, as if lending her strength. Gradually, the whispers faded, and the shadows receded. Elara had passed the first trial. Next, she faced the River of Reflection, a wide, fast-moving body of water that mirrored not just her appearance but her soul. As she attempted to cross, the river showed her past mistakes and insecurities. Each reflection tried to pull her in, but Elara remembered Mara's words and stayed true to her path. With sheer willpower, she managed to swim across, emerging stronger and more determined. The River of Reflection was a place of profound introspection. The water's surface shimmered like glass, reflecting not just Elara's image but scenes from her past. She saw moments of failure. The final trial was the Cave of Lost Souls, a labyrinth filled with the spirits of those who had failed before her. In the dark, twisting passages, she heard cries of despair and felt the weight of giving up. Yet, Elara's spirit burned bright. She offered words of encouragement to the lost souls, and her kindness guided her to the cave's exit. The spirits, moved by her compassion, showed her the way to the Heartstone. The Cave of Lost Souls was a place of sorrow and regret. The air was thick with the cries of those who had come before, their spirits trapped by their own despair. Elara navigated the dark, twisting passages with a torch in hand, its flame flickering in the damp air. She felt the weight of the cave's sadness pressing down on her, but she refused to give in. "Don't be afraid," she called out to the shadows. "You are not alone." Her voice was a beacon in the darkness, and slowly, the spirits began to respond. They whispered back to her, their voices tinged with hope. Guided by their faint light, Elara found her way through the labyrinth, emerging into a chamber where the Heartstone rested on a pedestal of crystal. After days of trials and perseverance, Elara finally arrived at the Heartstone's resting place. The Heartstone was guarded by an ancient creature named Elara, a majestic being with the body of a lion and wings of an eagle. Elara had been entrusted with the Heartstone for centuries, allowing only the pure of heart to claim it. Elara approached with reverence, explaining her mission and the plight of Soulwood. Elara listened intently, its piercing eyes gauging her sincerity. Many have sought the heartstone for power, Elara said, but few with a heart as pure as yours. To claim the heartstone, you must pass one final test. Elara conjured an illusion of soulwood, where the villagers appeared desolate and broken. Elara was asked to choose between her own safety and the well-being of her people. Without hesitation, she chose to save soulwood, even if it meant she would never return. Moved by her selflessness, Elara granted her the heartstone, revealing its true power, the power to heal and renew. The heartstone was a sight to behold, glowing with a soft, pulsating light that seemed to breathe with life. Elara felt its warmth radiate through the chamber, filling her with a sense of peace and hope. She reached out tentatively, her fingers brushing the cool, smooth surface. The stone responded to her touch, its light growing brighter. Elara of Soulwood, Elara intoned, you have proven yourself worthy. The heartstone is yours to wield. Use its power wisely, and remember that true strength comes from within. Elara felt a surge of energy as the heartstone bonded with her. She could feel its magic coursing through her veins, filling her with renewed vigor. Thank you, Elara, she said, her voice filled with gratitude. I will not let you down. With the heartstone in hand, Elara began her journey back to Soulwood. The forest, once menacing and dark, now seemed to guide her path. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that the fate of her village rested in her hands. As she retraced her steps through the trials she had faced, she found that the challenges no longer seemed insurmountable. The Valley of Echoes was silent, the River of Reflection calm, and the Cave of Lost Souls was filled with a gentle light. Elara's return journey was swift and filled with a sense of urgency. She knew that time was of the essence, and every moment counted. She could feel the heartstone's power pulsing with every step, guiding her home. When she finally emerged from the forest, she was greeted by the anxious faces of her fellow villagers, their eyes wide with hope and anticipation. Heartstone in hand, Elara began her journey back to Soulwood. The forest, once menacing and dark, now seemed to guide her path. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that the fate of her village rested in her hands. Upon her return, the villagers gathered, their eyes wide with hope and anticipation. Elara raised the heartstone high, and a brilliant light emanated from it, enveloping the village. The storm clouds parted, revealing a clear sky. Crops began to grow, homes were rebuilt, and the Riven Spring flowed with fresh, pure water. The heartstone's magic had restored Soulwood, bringing prosperity and peace back to the land. The villagers cheered and celebrated, their gratitude towards Elara boundless. She had faced unimaginable trials, but her unwavering spirit had triumphed. Soulwood was thriving once more, a testament to the power of resilience and the strength of the human spirit. As the village rejoiced, Elara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had accomplished what she set out to do, and her heart swelled with pride and relief. The villagers gathered around her, expressing their gratitude and admiration. Children looked up at her with wide eyes, inspired by her bravery and determination. Elara addressed the crowd, her voice steady and filled with emotion. We have faced great adversity, she said, but together, we have overcome it. The heartstone has restored our home, but it is our unity and strength that will keep it flourishing. Let us continue to support one another and protect our village so that Soulwood may thrive for generations to come. The villagers nodded in agreement, their spirits lifted by her words. They knew that the trials they had faced had only made them stronger and more resilient. Elara's journey had taught them that no challenge was insurmountable, and that with courage and compassion, they could overcome anything. Over the next few weeks, the village of Soulwood transformed. The crops grew tall and bountiful, the houses were rebuilt sturdier than before, and the Riven Spring flowed with a renewed vigor. The villagers worked together, their efforts united by a common purpose. The heartstone's magic continued to flow through the land, ensuring that Soulwood remained a place of prosperity and peace. Elara's role in the village grew as well. She became a trusted leader and advisor, her wisdom and experience guiding the community through both good times and bad. She continued to teach the values of resilience and kindness, instilling in the younger generations the importance of helping one another and staying true to their goals. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, Elara stood at the edge of the riven spring, reflecting on her journey. She thought of the trials she had faced and the lessons she had learned. She knew that the Heartstone's power was not just in its magic, but in the way it had brought the village together and strengthened their bonds. Elara smiled, knowing that Soulwood was in good hands. The village had not only survived, but it had thrived, and it was all because of the unity and resilience of its people. She turned back to the village, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident that together they could overcome anything. Years passed, then Elara became a beloved figure in Soulwood. She continued to lead her village with wisdom and compassion, always reminding her people of the importance of kindness and perseverance. The story of her journey to find the Heartstone was passed down through generations, becoming a cherished legend in Soulwood. Elara established a tradition where each year, during the Festival of Light, the villagers would recount the tale of her adventure. They would gather around a great bonfire, sharing stories of courage and hope, ensuring that the spirit of resilience lived on in every heart. During the Festival of Light, the village was adorned with lanterns and decorations, and the air was filled with music and laughter. It was a time of celebration and reflection, a reminder of the journey that had brought them to where they were. Elara would sit by the fire, surrounded by children and adults alike, her eyes shining with the memories of her adventure. The Heartstone, she would begin, is more than just a magical artifact. It is a symbol of our strength and unity. It reminds us that no matter how great the challenges we face, we can overcome them together. The villagers listened with rapt attention, their hearts filled with pride and gratitude. They knew that Elara's story was a part of their history, a testament to the power of courage and compassion. Each year, as the Festival of Light came to an end, they would look to the future with hope, knowing that they were capable of achieving anything. Elara's legacy extended beyond Soulwood, as travelers from distant lands came to hear her story and seek her guidance. She taught them the lessons she had learned, that true strength comes from within, and that even in the darkest times, hope and compassion can lead the way. Her journey had started as a quest to save her village but had ended as a beacon of inspiration for all who heard it. Elara spent her later years mentoring the younger generation, passing on her knowledge and wisdom. She encouraged them to explore the world, to seek out their own adventures, and to always remember the values that had guided her on her journey. She knew that the future of Soulwood depended on their courage and determination, and she was confident that they would rise to the challenge. As Elara grew older, she took comfort in the knowledge that her village was thriving. She had seen Soulwood transformed from a place of despair to a beacon of hope, and she knew that it was because of the strength and unity of its people. Her journey had taught her that true power came from within, and that with courage and compassion, anything was possible. In her final days, Elara reflected on her life with a sense of peace and fulfillment. She had faced great adversity and had emerged stronger for it. She had led her village through its darkest times and had seen it flourish once more. And she had inspired generations to come, ensuring that the legacy of Soulwood would live on. Elara passed away surrounded by her loved ones, her spirit living on in the hearts of those she had touched. The village of Soulwood continued to thrive, its people united by the lessons she had taught them. The story of Elara and the Heartstone became a legend, a reminder of the power of resilience and the strength of the human spirit. In Soulwood, her legacy lived on, reminding everyone that no matter how great the obstacles, with courage, kindness, and an unwavering spirit, we can overcome anything.